Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Right now at 5, President-elect Joe Biden gets to work today. What he has on the agenda, plus local supporters react to the news after Biden is projected the winner, also electing the nation's first woman vice president. President Trump's campaign promising a new round of lawsuits today. What they say happened in Nevada involving dead people coming up. Plus, here at home, winter weather hits our mountain communities with snow and ice over the passes. We'll have a look at the conditions and what to expect in the valley. This is Monday, November 9th, 2020. Good morning. It's 5 a.m. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher. 17 News is your local election headquarters. After days of tallying votes, a winner declared.
Yeah, Joe Biden is the winner of the presidential election. Today, Biden launches his transition as President Trump heads back to court to challenge the results. Tracy Potts has what you need to know this morning.
Maddie and Alex, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Day one for the Biden transition will focus heavily on coronavirus. We got to look at the president-elect's schedule. He'll be speaking on that later today. Meantime, President Trump is focusing on challenging these election results. The Biden transition starts with a coronavirus briefing this morning.
He'll be making announcements to the American people about how he's going to make good on these campaign promises.
President-elect Biden naming new members of his coronavirus task force, making remarks on the virus and the economy, working on a plan to begin January 20th.
That plan will be built on bedrock science. It will be constructed out of compassion, empathy, and concern.
Meantime, the Trump campaign is promising a new round of lawsuits today, challenging election results. In Nevada, they claim dead people voted and machines could not verify signatures.
We pointed out that the voter rolls in Clark County had a lot of improper voters, and we pointed out that the signature verification process and these things were simply not going to protect the system.
President Trump tweeting, since when does the mainstream media call who our next president will be? Certified results could take weeks.
Candidates have the ability to request a recount after the election. We are preparing for that.
Some Republicans are warning the president to tone down his language.
When you say that the election was corrupt or stolen or rigged, but that's unfortunately rhetoric that gets picked up by authoritarians around the world.
Republicans pressing the president to back up his allegations.
Show us, because if you can't show us, we can't do this. We can't back you blindly without evidence.
So far, there's not much. The Trump campaign is asking supporters to help pay for the lawsuits. They've set up an election defense task force to raise money for that. In Washington, I'm Tracy Potts, 17 News.
Meantime, 17's Eitan Wallace has been tracking the results nonstop since election night and through the weekend. He now joins us with where the electoral map stands at this hour, plus what President Trump needs to do to overcome or to come out victorious. Eitan, I know it's been a busy weekend. Where does the map stand as of now?
And Alex, it has. Well, first of all, 8:25 a.m. Pacific time, Saturday, NBC News projected Joe Biden, 46th President of the United States. Now, Mr. Biden will also be with Kamala Harris, the first woman elected vice president, the first black person, and the first person of South Asian descent. She's also the first Californian to serve in that role since Richard Nixon served on a ticket with President Dwight D. Eisenhower beginning 1953. Let's show you the map here. This is what did it for President-elect Biden. He wins Pennsylvania, 20 electoral votes. That's the projection. When I saw you last on Friday, he was at 253. He's at 279 now because that 20 electoral votes got him over that magic number, 270. Then Nevada was called later Saturday, another 6 electoral votes there. So what can President Trump do? President Trump still, his campaign, as you heard Tracy Potts still has some options. First, they want to recount in Pennsylvania, 20 there. He wants recount in Georgia. Georgia Secretary of State already saying she will, saying that they will do that there. Arizona, it's still too close to call. They haven't called it yet. Nevada also might be a recount there. So if they get the recount in all those states, President Trump now at 214 electoral votes, that would be enough. If they could get a recount in all of those states, that is, they would get 62 electoral votes, enough to put President Trump over 270. Let me show you where some of the numbers stand right now. Pennsylvania, 20 electoral votes. You see here that that Biden is in the lead here, 43,194. It's only increasing there. This is a state to watch because the Trump campaign will have an automatic recount if the margin is half of 1%. Look at this. Now it's 0.7%, just above the half of 1%. So what the Trump campaign will need to do is get each county. They're going to need to find 3 voters who say they found irregularities in each county. That's just in Pennsylvania, so each county can then do a recount. That's how they can count in a recount there. Let's show you Georgia. Georgia, the Biden margin increased over the weekend, now 10,353. This state says they will do an automatic recount. Let's show you Arizona, 11 electoral votes, still too close to call. NBC News has not called it. Biden's lead is decreasing in Arizona. The president, his lead, his margin is, he's slowly catching up on that margin there, but this is a state to watch. More than 77,000 votes still left to count here. Let me show you in Nevada quickly. This was the state that NBC News called on Saturday. 6 electoral votes here, and as you see here, we still have 46,000 estimated remaining. But since I saw you Saturday night, 12,000 more, Biden's lead increasing by 12,000. Let me show you North Carolina, last state to watch here. President Trump in the lead here for the 15 electoral votes. We might not have results here. The counties in the state do not need to report their individual totals until November 13th. We are monitoring this. Meantime, in the next half hour, I will come back to you and show you how local races are looking. Let's send it back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Eitan. And let's go ahead and talk about the winter storm that blew in across Kern County over the weekend. Yesterday, Kev, we alternated between freezing rain and light snow all day in the mountains, but it really never stuck to the ground in Tehachapi.
Yeah, we did see some sticking snow over the Grapevine. The winds really picked up. We were seeing winds gusting to about 35, 37 miles per hour, and that was typical. We had actually 2 little systems that pushed through. That's why we saw the winds on Saturday and the winds on Sunday. Let's show you the satellite and radar right now, and there's nothing to show you. It is quiet. So the systems have pushed out. We saw clearing skies overnight. We may see some ice on some of the roadways, some of the higher elevations as temperatures are very cool. But remember, I want to talk about the fall rain. November 20th last year, we picked up 0.37. Well, what did we pick up with the weekend storm? 0.39. So we did get some great rain amounts over the weekend. Now we talk about the clearing skies and the cold temperatures. We have a freeze watch in place for the valley locations until 9 a.m. tomorrow, so another cold night ahead. And then we have the freeze warning until this morning for the Kern County mountain locations. 39 degrees in Bakersfield right now, an east-southeast wind at 3. And as we take a look at the hour by hour here, we are expecting to see the 50s as we progress into the afternoon. 25 in Tehachapi, chilly. We've got a calm wind right now, and as we take a look at the hour by hour forecast, you can see temperatures expected only in the upper 30s, maybe hitting 40 this afternoon. So definitely a cool day in the mountains. Is there more storms on the way? I've got details on that coming up in a bit.
And now to an update this morning to a story that we brought to you as breaking news last night, with a standoff at an apartment complex in southwest Bakersfield ending with an arrest. It began just after 7:15 last night at the 4700 block of Beachwood Street near the intersection of White Lane and Stein Road. Police say that's where they responded to a report of a shooting. When they arrived, they say they found a man had been shot but not wounded. Police say 59-year-old Gregory Biggs barricaded himself in an apartment and refused to leave. Neighbors' apartments were evacuated as the standoff involving SWAT officers ensued for hours, ending just before 11 o'clock last night when Biggs was taken into custody. Police did not specify whether Biggs surrendered. He was booked on charges of assault with a deadly weapon and possession of a firearm by a felon.
5:10 now, shocking video as a gunman opens fire in the immediate area of police as they conduct an investigation into another shooting.
What's going on?
This video obtained by 17 News shows Bakersfield police officers searching the area for bullet casings after a shot spotter alert on Kentucky Street. That's when a driver with their lights off fired 2 shots at a residence nearby. Police ran to their cars as they tried to chase the driver. According to witnesses, that driver was never caught. As of now, we've not been able to confirm information with BPD. No officers were hurt. Meantime, police say a teenager crossing a street was wounded in a shooting Friday in South Bakersfield. It happened in the 1100 block of Plans Road around 6:30 at night. Officials said the teen was taken to a hospital for treatment of multiple gunshot wounds and was listed as stable. No description of the shooter. The investigation is ongoing. If you have information, you can call BPD at 327-7111.
Coronavirus is quickly spreading again in Kern County. Our daily cases are increasing once again, which could be a sign another significant spike is coming. Public health officials announced 189 new cases. Our daily average over a 7-day period is above 100 cases, the first time since late August. There are currently 45 people in the hospital with more severe conditions, while more than 9,000 people are recovering at home, according to our health department. 429 lives have been lost due to the virus in Kern County. More than 35,000 people have tested positive for COVID-19 here at home. And new this morning, Pfizer says its COVID-19 vaccine in development is more than 90% effective in preventing infection. The company says no serious safety concerns were observed in trials. It plans to apply for emergency use authorization from the FDA, possibly approved as early as this month.
Welcome back. Your time now is 5:21. The world is mourning the loss of a television icon. Alex Trebek, host of Jeopardy for 37 years, has died. NBC's Mark Barker looks back at his life.
This is Jeopardy!
Alex Trebek was synonymous with the quiz show that called itself America's favorite. Jeopardy won him a loyal audience worldwide with and without his once trademark mustache.
Alex Trebek!
When Trebek first hit the Jeopardy stage in 1984, he was already a successful on-air host. His career began on radio, close to home in Canada.
Bienvenue à ce match Reach for the Top.
He moved to television, hosting a bilingual quiz show for students after a stint in news and special events. But the Ontario native with a degree in philosophy found a niche in game shows. He eventually set the Guinness record for the most game show episodes by the same host. Among his many honors, 5 Emmy Awards for hosting, and his native country's second highest civilian honor, the Order of Canada. Trebek lived most of his adult life in Los Angeles, where he and his second wife, Jean, raised 2 children. Between tapings in the Jeopardy studio, a relaxed Trebek often talked with the audience.
If you have no personality, then you can't be a contestant. You could be the host of the show, not a contestant.
I'm a lot looser, I think, than most people think I am. I don't take too many things seriously.
Trebek had some serious health scares, including brain surgery in 2018 after suffering a fall.
I have some news to share with all of you.
Then, in the middle of Jeopardy's 35th season, Trebek announced he had been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, saying he planned to beat the low odds for survival.
I have to, because under the terms of my contract, I have to host Jeopardy for 3 more years.
Trebek had already thought about his replacement.
It's probably going to be a woman.
Yeah.
It'll be somebody younger, somebody bright, somebody personable.
As the man with all the answers through a record-breaking career, Alex Trebek was, without question, one of TV's most enduring personalities. Mark Barker, NBC News.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back to your 17 Business Watch. With a spike in coronavirus cases around the world, families are rethinking their holiday plans.
Just staying to myself, honestly. Might make it a virtual Christmas.
COVID-19 continues to change the way we live and how we celebrate. One annual staple you can count on is the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The so-called the scaled-down parade will feature new balloons and floats, though organizers say it will be shorter than usual. When it comes to Christmas and visits with Santa, parents not comfortable with venturing out can sign their kids up for a virtual visit with the big guy at jinglering.com.
When mom and dad book the session, you'll be able to tell us a little bit about the kids, their names, what are they doing really well at home.
And as the new year approaches, Times Square will be closed to the public, but one tradition will remain: the New Year's Eve ball drop, even if there won't be anyone on the ground. And supporters of President-elect Joe Biden rallied in Bakersfield this weekend. Democrats from all over the county gathered to celebrate Vice President Biden's victory. Dozens drove into a parking lot near Mercado Latino as part of the Ride In with Biden rally. Each car was decorated with Biden flags and posters.
We planned this because we want to celebrate democracy, first and foremost. We want to celebrate that our nation's getting back to some normalcy. We all breathe a sigh of relief that for the first time in 4 years, we're going to have someone sane in the White House.
A few familiar faces then took center stage. Notable speakers included Congressman T.J. Cox, civil rights activist Dolores Huerta, and Assemblyman Rudy Salas, as well as newly elected Bakersfield City Councilman Eric Arias. The caravan then drove down to the park at Riverwalk, honking their horns down California Avenue.
First, God, all of these wrongful Biden folks, Lord.
And as some celebrated Biden's victory, others protested and prayed for a change in election results. A group of Trump supporters gathered near the Home Depot on Rosedale Highway to pray for the president's re-election. They say he still has a chance at winning.
Give President Trump 4 more years, Lord. Give that leadership 4 more years, Father.
They hope the president's lawsuits give him enough votes to win Pennsylvania. But in addition to Pennsylvania, President Trump would need to win at least 3 other states in order to be reelected.
5:39 is your time now, and the district attorney's office confirms the man at the center of a scuffle between rival supporters of President Trump and now President-elect Joe Biden has been charged. Nicholas Frye of Bakersfield was charged Saturday with misdemeanor battery following an October incident on Rosedale Highway where the factions had set up booths just a few hundred feet apart. Supporters of President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden had been staking out positions at the corner of Rosedale Highway and Coffee Road for 3 weeks when a fistfight broke out. It ended only after Frye was maced by a Biden supporter. The scuffle started when a female Trump supporter, accompanied by what appeared to be a service dog, danced in front of a Biden-Harris banner attached to a folding table on the Biden side of the sidewalk, blocking the banner. A Biden supporter pushed the dog out of the way of the banner. That apparently enraged this man, later identified as 6-foot-tall, 350-pound Nick Frye, who, in a scene viewed thousands of times on social media, charged into a cluster of Biden supporters, swatting away placards, upending a table, and swinging at the man who had apparently touched the dog. No court date has been set for Frye, who's also gone by the last name Rainwater. Frye has previous convictions for obtaining aid by fraud, reckless driving, pled down from alleged DUI and gun charges.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.